Yep.
In 3.
In a divided America, I'm happy to report that our mainstream news agencies have reached a moral consensus when it comes to sexual abuse. According to these arbiters of our moral life, anytime a man is accused of doing anything untoward to a woman, the woman should be believed, if the man is a Republican. If the man is a Democrat, whether the woman should be believed depends on whether or not the man is an icon, the lion of the Senate, the President of the United States, or a former comedian, in which case the situation is not the same as the Republican, because if the man is a Democrat, then the woman is probably trailer trash or dead, in which case abortion rights, Donald Trump, and look over there, Prince Harry is engaged. Thanks for clearing that up, mainstream media. Another Kingdom heartthrob, Michael Knowles, is with us today to discuss the holidays you're not celebrating. Trigger warning. I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.
I feel hunky-dunky, life is tickety-boo. Birds are winging, also singing hunky-dunky-doo. Ship-shape, tipsy-topsy, the world is zippity-zing. It's a wonderful day, hurrah, hooray! It makes me want to sing. Oh, hurrah, hooray! Oh, hooray, hurrah!
All right, welcome back. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I had a fascinating conversation with my liberal friends and relatives over Thanksgiving. I'm going to tell you about that. Before, all this craziness is about to start in the legislature as they try and pass something, because what they're really deciding is not the tax reform or anything like this. What they're really deciding is whether or not there's going to be a tidal wave of Democrats elected in 2018, because if they don't do anything, that's what's going to happen. So that's going to get started. But before that, I want to just take a little bit of an overview, a moral overview of what's going on, because I feel there's a little bit of moral chaos. And I was thinking over the holiday and because of this Thanksgiving discussion, how we come to terms with what is moral, and I've kind of isolated two ways. I'm going to be talking about this all week, so if I don't get to some of it today, don't worry about it, but I will get to. I'll tell you what I will get to is the post office. And the reason is I don't have to drive to the post office to get to the post office. The post office has been part of my life since when I was 13. That's when I decided I wanted to be a writer. And I started this summer I was 13, I started sending out my short stories. And I then developed this kind of intimate relationship with the post office, because your hopes and dreams were always living on the mail, And so I was always those people, one of those guys when other people were cursing the post office. I'm like this about the suburbs too. When other people were cursing the suburbs, I was always going like, I like the suburbs. I like the post office, And I still like the post office. They do a great job. It's just that today I don't want to have to drive there. I don't want to have to wait online. I don't want to have to get there during their hours. I want to do what I do with everything else, and I want to do it out of my computer. And that's why there's Stamps.com. Stamps.com brings all the services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your fingertips. You can buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package, any class of mail using your own computer and printer, and then the mailman comes. Our lovable mailman comes and picks it up. In my neighborhood, it is a lovable mail lady who is, in fact, one of the nicest people I know. Stamps.com makes this all easy. They will send you a digital scale, which automatically calculates the exact postage, and Stamps.com will even help you decide the best class of mail every time. I love this. This is the way it should be, right? The Stamps.com. You don't have to go to the post office, but the post office comes to you. And right now, you can enjoy the Stamps.com service with a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus postage, and a digital scale without long-term commitments. You get it by going to Stamps.com. You click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Klavan or Klavan, depending on your social class. It's Klavan. That's Stamps.com, and then enter Klavan. It's the post office, except in your computer. So, all right, holiday arguments. We put up this video about how to avoid a holiday argument, a Thanksgiving argument, which I then completely ignored. But I just want to play it for you so you'll know what I wasn't doing. Here's me with my tips on how to avoid Thanksgiving arguments. Hey, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're all gathered with people you love and eating lots of stuff you love. I'm a person who holds passionate political opinions, and like all people who hold those opinions, I pride myself on being able to avoid arguments with friends and relatives over the holidays, and then wind up getting so angry at them, I just want to grab them by the scruff of their liberal necks and force their stupid left-wing faces into the cranberry sauce over and over and over again until they finally admit that Barack Obama was the most corrupt, incompetent communist ever to hold office outside of North Korea. that's something you generally want to avoid. So today, I'd like to present my 3 easy tips on how not to get into political arguments over Thanksgiving dinner. Tip number 1, try to stick to neutral subjects. For instance, if your Uncle Joe is into sports, you might say something like, hey, how about those Los Angeles Rams? They're doing well. And just try not to mention the football players who are disrespecting the flag that brave men died for, because it'll make you want to grab Uncle Joe by the shirt front and force stuffing down his throat until it comes out of his stupid leftist ears. That's probably not your best course of action. Tip number 2, if you must discuss politics, discuss principles, not people. If, for instance, tax cuts come up, you can talk about how you support lower taxes because they improve the economy and lead to greater freedom. Whereas if you let Cousin Fred go off on a tangent about how Donald Trump hasn't released his tax returns, you might be tempted to respond that at least Donald Trump hasn't corrupted the entire IRS in order to silence his political enemies the way that corrupt dirtbag Obama did, because even thinking about that will make you want to rip a leg off the turkey and pound your stupid Cousin Fred over the stupid head until he looks as stupid as he actually is stupid. That might make some of your guests uncomfortable. Finally, tip number 3, always try to listen to what people are saying and hear them out. If your kid's sister, Sue, starts saying something ridiculous about how pro-life Christians are more dangerous to America than Islamic terrorists, don't just start screaming insults at her or pick up the pumpkin pie and smash it into her self-satisfied leftist face the way you've wanted to do ever since she was born and your mom didn't have enough time for you anymore. Instead, say something like, I think I see what you're getting at, but you're still an idiot. Please pass the pumpkin pie, you fat-faced punk. Maybe you don't want to use those exact words. But if you follow these simple tips, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to have a joyous Thanksgiving holiday with your beloved friends and relatives, even if they are a pack of leftist morons who really deserve to have hot yams poured over their heads until they admit their stupid philosophy has practically ruined the country. Yams. I'm Andrew Klavan, wishing happy Thanksgiving from all of us at the Daily Wire to you and your idiot leftist relative.
So that didn't work too well for me. Those tips didn't work that well for me. But, you know, we gathered together at my house with all these people that I actually do love and respect and admire, but they're liberals. I mean, they're fatal. We all have flaws, right? You know, mine is I pull the wings off flies. Theirs is that they're liberals. And so immediately we all gathered, mostly the guys went outside because the women are actually doing all the work. So the guys are sitting outside, out of the way, getting out of the way. That is our job. And we immediately got into politics. And immediately they started saying Donald Trump is destroying the country. Not I don't like what he's doing, I disagree, but Donald Trump is destroying the country. So I thought to myself, well, this is not going to go well, you know, because I think like I'm going to now say, well, what about Obama for 8 years? And what about this and that? You know, and you guys didn't say anything when Obama did this. And I said, you know what, let's do it this way. I said, I won't use whataboutism. I won't bring up what Obama did. And we won't argue about things that we're never going to agree on because they want the EPA to save the planet. I want the EPA to cease to exist. I want the EPA to be a little pack of rubble with a sign, a hand-lettered sign on top that says, here used to be the EPA. That would be my favorite EPA, okay? So I said we're never going to agree. And I'm not going to resort to what about Hillary Clinton, what about Obama. And they kept saying, well, you know, Hillary Clinton didn't win. And I thought, yeah, but you voted for the crook, you know? So like, whither comest this, like, you know, sanctimonious moral superiority? Didn't say it, just stayed back. I said, let's not talk about who started anything. I said, just tell me what Trump has done that violates constitutional rule of law and the norms of American governance. That's all. That's all I want. That's what I will listen to. Nothing. They could not come up with a single thing, but they all said something that I don't like about Donald Trump, that he's rude, you know, that he keeps saying these things and he you know, he's threatening the First Amendment by attacking CNN. CNN thinks the same thing. Trump. This is when I love Trump. But by the way, Trump is tweeting. He started out tweeting, "Fox News is much more important in the United States than CNN." But outside of the USS, CNN International is still a major source of fake news, and they represent our nation to the world very poorly. The outside world does not see the truth from them. And CNN answered his tweet saying, "It's not CNN's job to represent the U.S. to the world. That's level of shouting fire in a crowded theater. I just believe the First Amendment is the absolute bedrock of freedom." Trump has First Amendment rights too. It doesn't bother me if he insults the press. And to use a little whataboutism, Barack Obama, subpoenaed the phone records of the AP and James Rosen and all these things. He shut down opponents' views by using the IRS to intimidate them. That was a threat. To me, that's a threat to the First Amendment. Trump criticizing CNN. And then, by the way, just Trump, I don't know if it was late yesterday or today, he tweeted, "We should have a contest as to which of the networks plus CNN, and not including Fox, is the most dishonest, corrupt, and or distorted in its political coverage of your favorite president, me." They are all bad. The winner will receive the fake news trophy. So I love this. I love this. So this is what they're worried about. This is what the liberals who said Trump is destroying the nation. It's basically his bad manners. And I have talked about that. And I have said that I don't like his bad manners. I don't like the bullying. But the left has essentially co-opted manners as a way of defending their point of view. Anything you say, if you say, "Oh, well, the election of Barack Obama was a dark day for our country," they say, "You said dark, you're a racist, you hate black people." They have made our opinions impolite. And so in order to fight back against them, I think it's just possible that we had to send a guy who doesn't have very good manners to fight back against them. And that's a sad thing, and that speaks very badly for the country. But what I started to think about what the fact that we're sitting there, all these people who really do like each other, and we're all very friendly, and we all get along, and we talk about all kinds of things in a very friendly way. But at base, we all agree on certain things. And this is what I started to think about, that I've talked before about how decadence is good for the elites. Why is decadence good for elites? Well, decadence is good for elites because elites have most of them have internalized certain rules of life. Elites don't have children out of wedlock for the most part. Elites treat each other with respect and politeness. Elites have certain respect for tradition. Elites are the people who go to church. Elites work hard. They do all these things. And so they come to believe in what we'll call independent morality. They come to believe in the morality of individualism. So that's me. I'm an elite. I say this all the time. It's like I like the people, but I am an elite. I grew up elite. I've lived an elite life. I've been an artist all my life. I live among elites. I live a very conservative life. And so if the guy next to me, and everybody around me lives a conservative life, and so if one guy next to me lives a kooky life because he's an artist, I think that's fine. That's not going to hurt anybody. But if you live in a chaotic situation, if you live in a chaotic, poor neighborhood where men don't marry the women they impregnate, where children don't have fathers, where the rules aren't being set, where the schools have been taken over by leftists, so they're teaching them, teaching boys how to put on makeup instead of how to, read and write, then you need rules. You need rules. And so you have two kinds of morality. You have rules morality and you have individual morality. And obviously, either one can be taken to an extreme. If you have too much rules morality, you have tyranny. If you have too much individual morality, you have chaos, right? But they're very different. They come from very different places. So what you have now is you have elites living out their individualistic morality, but afraid to preach rules morality for fear of seeming judgmental and tyrannical and not serving the poor. And I'll get back to this in a minute, but first let us talk about, it's now going to be Advent, right? Christmas is coming. Christmas is a coming. And, I always think the best gifts are gifts that you would secretly like to give yourself and maybe on occasion have secretly given yourself. And that's Quip, the Quip toothbrush, excellent stocking stuffer. I only use electric toothbrushes. They work so much better. They're really good for you. They polish your teeth. They also you are also more likely to do what you should do, which is brush for 2 minutes twice a day at least, and you do that more with electric toothbrushes. But the thing about electric toothbrushes is they're huge. If you put one in the stocking, it's going to come out through the bottom, right? They're so big, you can't pack them, you can't travel with them, they're a pain in the neck. But a Quip is just so beautifully designed. They're very thin, they use batteries, so you don't recharge them. They don't have to come with a whole thing. It just has, they come with a mount that goes right on your mirror and fits seamlessly into your daily routine. And Quip also offers an optional subscription plan which delivers new brush heads on the dentist recommended 3-month schedule for just $5, including free shipping worldwide. You got to change those heads every 3 months. That's very important. And just in time for the holidays, Quip is the ideal size and price to gift anyone on your list. And you can even include automatic brush head deliveries for a year to ensure that your gift keeps giving until next holiday. The Quip electric toothbrush is featured in just about every gift guide this year, including Oprah's O List, Men's Health, Forbes, Goop. That's the Gwyneth Paltrow one. So all of that, very cool. Quip starts at just $25. And right now, when you go to getquip.com/Klavan to get your first refill pack free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/KLAVAN. That's GETQUIP.com/Klavan. And you will get your first refill pack for free. Good stuff. All right. So we're having this whole sexual craziness going on, you know, all these charges. And of course, as I was joking at the top of the show, the rules are completely different. Everybody's yelling, "Oh my gosh, you have to get rid of Roy Moore. Everybody, why don't you stand up against Roy Moore?" But then when it comes to Al Franken, not so much. That doesn't have to. The guy, John Conyers, who's like 80 now. I mean, here's a guy. There was a conversation. I don't have a cut list, but there was a conversation on ABC, I think it was, and they were all discussing John Conyers, who's been in the Senate forever and has now been charged with all kinds of misbehavior and with paying out. What's that? Oh, sorry, in front of my laptop. Thank you. There it is. He's been charged with all kinds of misbehavior and with paying out all this money to silence people. He stepped down from he was a ranking Democrat member on the House Judiciary Committee, and he stepped down on Sunday because of these accusations, but he says he won't quit. So Cokie Roberts was on this ABC panel. Listen to what the journalists are saying about it.
The fact that people are willing to be public can change things. I mean, we all talked about for years.
A little bit at a time.
Well, you know, don't get in the elevator with him. You know, and every female in the press corps knew that, right? Don't get in the elevator with him. Now people are saying it out loud. And I think that does make it.
That is a change.
So wait a minute. I mean, these were the guys who were telling us that facts first and everything, you know, they're the arbiter of the truth. Why all these years? Could Cokie Roberts not get in an elevator with John Conyers? You know, I mean, because these are things like, listen, I'm willing to admit there are a lot of gray areas. I'm willing to admit there are a lot of gray areas in sexual interactions, and, you know, you might not know, you might read signals wrong, you might be overly aggressive, you might do something stupid, you might be a little drunk, all those things. But you can't get in an elevator with a guy. You know, if you can't get in an elevator with a guy, the guy's a predator. And yet, then they bring on Nancy Pelosi and they say, well, shouldn't, you know, after all these big moral grandstanding over Roy Moore, they ask Nancy Pelosi if Conyers should quit, and here's her answer.
John Conyers is an icon in our country. He has done a great deal to protect women, Violence Against Women Act, which the right wing is now quoting me as praising him for his work on that, and he did great work on that. But the fact, as John reviews his case, which he knows, which I don't, I believe he will do. I believe that he will. Excuse me, may I finish my sentence? Sure. That he will do the right thing.
And is the right thing what? Resign?
He will do the right thing in terms of what he knows about his situation, that he's entitled to due process, but women are entitled to due process as well.
But he took advantage of a situation where he had the rules of Congress, and I know you guys want to change these rules, but he got to hide his settlement. He got to, his accusers had to go through all sorts of craziness. So why is he entitled to new due process in this case?
No, we are talking about what we have heard. I've asked the Ethics Committee to review that. Yeah. He has said he'd be open. He will cooperate with any review. Excuse me?
Do you believe John Conyers is accusers?
I don't know who they are. Do you? They have not really come forward.
So she kind of just dropped the ball, right? She didn't want to call for this guy to resign. Nobody wants to call for Al Franken to resign. Everybody wants Roy Moore to resign, to not be elected because he's the Republican. So basically what happened over the Thanksgiving weekend is the Democrats counted how many of these things are going to hurt them, and suddenly they start to very much soft pedal this. So my point here is this. People are angry at Donald Trump because he's impolite, but politeness is morality in action, right? Politeness are our ethics expressing themselves. How can we have agreement on politeness when we don't agree on the very, very basic things, tenets of morality? And that's what I'm going to explore in a moment. But first, we have to talk about, I love this sponsor, Man Crates, right? I talked about this last week. Man Crates is, if my wife, I'm sure there are a lot of women who get this. My wife says, "What do you want for Christmas?" I say, "I don't know. Just give me something nice. I don't know," because I don't know what I want. So Man Crates has this great stuff where they have they've curated stuff that men like, and they've put them in these tremendous wooden boxes, and they come with a crowbar, so the man gets to rip them open. And if you want them wrapped, they'll wrap them in duct tape, so you have to get through the duct tape. So we decided that we would get a man. They sent us a Man Crate. They sent me a Man Crate. I requested the Whiskey Appreciation Man Crate, and they sent it to me. And those unboxing videos? We decided that I wanted to do it live, but everybody was afraid I'd hurt somebody with the crowbar, which wasn't fair. You would think, because I'm so absent-minded, people think I can't do this stuff, but I'm actually very handy. So we actually did this on video. We have an unboxing video of me and my Man Crates.
This comes from Man Crates, and Man Crates, one of the coolest gift ideas ever, I think. It's just stuff men like that comes in a crate with a crowbar to open it up. I will get through this box. mancrates.com/Klavan for 5% off. And now we will open this thing up. You guys thought I couldn't do this, right? First, this is my kind of thing. This is great. This is a sphere ice mold. So let's see what else we got. We have, oh my gosh, Valadosta pecans glazed. This may be the best gift anyone could get. Artisan peppercorn blistered Virginia peanuts. Now these are very important because if you're drinking, you definitely want to eat as well. Pistachios. And what is this? Oh, this is a stopper, a beautiful, beautiful glass stopper, really nice. And here is coasters, so your wife doesn't get angry at you for putting rings on the table. 33 glasses of whiskey, a pocket whiskey tasting journal. Excellent, I love this. Oh, wow, geez, this is really beautiful. This is a whiskey decanter. And here is the most important thing about drinking whiskey. You have to have a great whiskey glass. If this showed up under my tree for Christmas, I would just be absolute. These are beautiful, beautiful glasses. Good job, Man Crates. I have to say, this is the only unboxing video I would watch. It's mancrates.com/Klavan, Klavan. You should know. It's mancrates.com/Klavan. You will get 5% off. Really, really excellent gift, I have to say. This was good stuff.
Hadn't seen that before, and I didn't hurt myself. I think I killed one of the extras or something, but aside from that, mancrates.com/Klavan, you get 5% off. They have, and go on their website, really go on their website, because they have a huge selection of different things. I, of course, went right for the whiskey, but there's poker chips, there's hobby type stuff, fishing things and all that. Really good stuff. Michael Knowles, the heartthrob star of Another Kingdom, will be with us momentarily, but first I have to say goodbye to Facebook and YouTube. Come on over to thedailywire.com. You can listen to the rest of the show, but if you had only subscribed, you can do it now. You can subscribe now for a lousy $10 a month. You can watch the whole show right there. You can be part of the mailbag. If you subscribe for a year, it's just $100 lousy bucks. And you get the Leftist Tears tumbler, which actually just, the minute Knowles walks into a room, this thing fills up. It's just a miraculous thing. All right, come on over.